Hi, everyone. For those of you that don't know me, I'm Ann Reed, and I'm at the University of Buffalo Graduate School of Education, and we're here today to introduce you to an opportunity that we call Quality by Design, which is an online faculty development course and open educational resource that can benefit all of you and your campuses. Like I said, I'm Ann Reed, and I'm here with my partner, Jeremiah Grabowski. He's a partner on the project, and he's, I don't know, you want to come into the frame? Online Programs Coordinator at the University of Buffalo School of Health and Health Professions. So we're going to give you a brief introduction to Quality by Design, which we refer to as QBD, and some background on the project, how it works, and how you all can get involved. So basically, we were awarded an IITG to create an online faculty development course that includes SUNY-specific content, that leverages pre-existing content from throughout SUNY, and that serves as an open educational resource that is free to participate in and free to adapt and reuse, and that includes a number of innovative approaches in an effort to contribute to SUNY's identity as a leader in innovative instruction. And one of the aspects of QBD that I'm most proud of is the collaborative nature of the project. It started here at UB, but we have partnered with a team of talented individuals from Binghamton University, Empire State College, Niagara County Community College, as well as Open SUNY COAT and the SUNY Center for Professional Development. And all of these campuses and centers are working together to develop and disseminate Quality by Design. So it's been a real great collaborative effort, and I know that some of the partners are on the call. So maybe if they want to chime in, they can feel free. And beyond the campuses that I just mentioned, it's important to point out that the course will be available to all 64 campuses. And it's really our mission to offer high-quality professional development opportunity to all of SUNY, and to bring individuals together from a whole spectrum of types of institutions to learn from one another. So just some very brief history. The course was adapted from a Blackboard MOOC originally entitled Designing an Exemplary Course, which has a Creative Commons license that allowed us to adapt it for use at UB. And we ran that course for a few years, making improvements with each new cohort, and over 200 individuals, both faculty and staff at UB, have participated in the course. It was highly successful, and it really allowed us to scale professional development at our institution. UB is a really large institution. It's a 12-school university, and individuals from every one of our 12 schools participated in the course. So that was something that we were really proud of. You know, it's no small feat bringing all of those schools together like that. And we found that the variety of backgrounds really contributed to the success of the course, and we thought that this model could really be scaled up even further, and hence the submission for an IITG. So now that we are taking the course SUNY-wide, we are incorporating SUNY-specific content. Most notably, we have replaced Blackboard's rubric, which served as sort of the backbone for the course. We've replaced that with OSCAR, the Open SUNY COAT Quality Review rubric that I'm sure you're all familiar with. And the OSCAR rubric now serves as the backbone of Quality by Design and has determined the design and organization of the course. And we have built the main structure of Quality by Design, but still, we're still in the midst of the course redesign process. And I have a team that is working to ensure that the course is aligned with OSCAR, and that the majority of the resources that are used in the course are SUNY-created resources. For example, content, be it readings or videos or learning modules that were created either by instructional designers or faculty members from SUNY campuses. So just some basic logistics of the course. It is 4 modules, each module is 1 week in length, and the modules pertain to big topics. So the first module is learner support. The second is content presentation and accessibility. The third is interaction and collaboration. And the fourth is evaluation and assessment. And the course is, it's very much like a MOOC in some ways, but with lots of opportunity for interaction and lots of built-in support. So similar to a MOOC, you can choose your own level of participation. You can be successful in the course without actually completing it. And you can be known as what is, you could be what is known as like a lurker. You can log in and read the forums and maybe download some of the resources, but not actually complete the assignment, and that's okay. We understand that everybody signs up for professional development for different purposes. But in order to officially complete the course, there are weekly requirements, but we don't anticipate the time commitment being we don't anticipate the time commitment exceeding more than 2 to 3 hours. And I mentioned that the collaborative nature of the project is something that we are very proud of, but we're also really excited about the innovative aspects of quality by design. QBD is an innovative approach to faculty development, mainly due to the elements listed here. OER, LMS agnostic, regardless of modality, and gamification, and I'll talk about each of these things individually. So first, quality by design is LMS agnostic, and we think we coined that term. We think we came up with that term, so see it out there somewhere in like the Wired campus or something. You heard it here first. So what does that mean? What does that actually mean? What is LMS agnostic? The course does not cover topics regarding building content in the LMS. This is not a course on course development, but rather a course that covers topics that are relevant regardless of the tools that are being utilized. Also, though the course is built and delivered in Blackboard, we intend to ensure that the course can seamlessly be imported into all of the major LMSs with no issue. So that's what we mean by LMS agnostic, those two reasons. And next, quality by design is not modality specific. And this is really a really important point. One of the questions that we are frequently asked is whether or not QBD is only for online instructors. And the answer is no. The materials in QBD are designed to be applicable to any teaching environment. The topics that we cover, learner support, content presentation and accessibility, interaction and collaboration, and evaluation and assessment. These are all topics that are important to any teaching modality. We have found that when we get faculty members that are teaching online together with faculty members that have only taught face-to-face, as well as faculty members that teach a blended or hybrid approach, that everyone learns from one another and the discussions are deep. And we subscribe to the notion that good teaching is good teaching regardless of the delivery method. And so that's how we are approaching this course. So I just want to take a moment to ask you all to reflect on what you see as the qualities of a good course. It could be a class that you have taken or that you have helped develop or that you've experienced somehow. And if you could just maybe chat in the chat box, what are the qualities of that course? What made that course good? You can chat in the chat box or just sort of reflect for a moment. Maybe we'll see a couple of responses. Okay, we're getting some responses. Awesome. Okay. So, whoa, I didn't really expect so much response. Okay, let me just look at a few of these. So you were saying that there's faculty interaction, that the expectations were clear, there's student engagement, clear objectives, engagement, being current, student-centered. How it would be evaluated was made clear. Student engagement, novelty and approach, discussions, purposeful. Everything I needed was there on the first day. It was memorable. These are great answers. These are awesome answers. And I think that the point of this exercise is to point out that all of these qualities are important no matter what the teaching modality is. All of these qualities transcend delivery method. So that is something that is really integral to our mission with Quality by Design. So the next innovation that we're going to talk about and share here is that QBD is OER. And this is very important. The course as a whole and all of its components will be Creative Commons licensed so that anyone can use or adapt them for their own purposes. The QBD materials can be repurposed for on-demand learning, so either an instructional designer at a campus can use the whole course or components of the course for training at their campus, or faculty members can access the whole course or portions of the course, or individuals can sign up and participate in the actual cohort. So there's lots of various ways that QBD can be utilized, and so the content, all of the content will be available on the web with Creative Commons licensed. We're very concerned with the content of the course being open. And the next innovation that we're talking about is gamification, which is a hot topic and one of my favorite topics to talk about. But I'm going to turn it over to Jeremiah because he is an expert on gamification. So I'll just turn it over here to Jeremiah.
All right. Well, you see like half my face.
Can we see him? Yeah, there he is.
Okay. So I'm going to talk briefly about the gamified aspects of this course, and we're hoping that will kind of lead to a little bit more engagement. It was funny as the chat was coming through that a bunch of people. Oh, am I not in frame? Okay.
Hey.
Sure. There I am. You can see me. A bunch of people were talking about things that I think kind of lead to gamification. Sometimes people hear of gamification and they think, oh, just games and it's all fun, but I really think gamification leads to a lot of engagement, and that's some of the things that people were talking about, like engaged in collaborative activities, it's purposeful, those sort of things. So with that said, just a formal definition, gamification is the use of game design elements in non-game context. So what we're doing is we're taking the fun parts of games and we're going to put them in a space like this course that's not actually a game per se. So I'm not going to give away like all the secrets or all the engagement that we're going to be doing, but I did want to talk about how we're going to be using badges as a portion of this. And as Anne was mentioning before, we want to try to address people however they're using the course, and we want to acknowledge that. So we're working with the Coat Center and Alex and that group over there to incorporate the badges that we have in this course into the SUNY Coat, and then also those badges are then used to it can be displayed in like something like your LinkedIn account. So I just got some badge. I don't know. Did you get that the other day? And a fellow badge, and then I can display that on my LinkedIn. And that's a way to kind of show off some of the good things that you're doing that doesn't always get put out there, for everybody to see. So we thought of 3 different ways to acknowledge folks and how we're going to use these badges. So one way is just a way to track your progression through the course. There's going to be 4.5 weeks worth of content, and we want to use these badges as a way to reward folks who are continually progressing, right? Some people do want to go through the whole course and earn that certificate in completion at the end. But on the other hand, some people might not want to do that, but you're more interested in like the community building aspect of this. And this is where we're hoping it can tie into SUNY Coat, because we're going to acknowledge folks that are either maybe you're a great community member within the course and you have a lot of expertise, so you don't want to progress through the course, but you want to go in there and you want to help other people, maybe someone that's not as new and you want to mentor somebody. So we're going to acknowledge those folks that have been great mentors throughout the course with a badge that then you can, display on your LinkedIn and prove that you did a lot and you helped a lot of folks out in this course. We're also going to address some of those people that want to just go in and get the content and repurpose it for your own institution or your own teaching. So we're going to acknowledge that with a badge for that. And then just to keep things fun, we're going to have a couple of surprise badges just to keep it light. We don't want this necessarily just be another professional development. We want it to be a community. We want it to be fun. So we have a couple of surprises in there just for everybody to kind of spicing things up a little bit.
Okay, great. Thanks, Jeremiah. Okay, so just to keep in line with the who, what, where, when, why, we're at the when stage here. So the course is the first cohort is going to begin in spring of 2016. We have a tentative date in mind, but it is most likely going to be in mid-February. So just look out for that. And we see many reasons why this course is necessary. First of all, to serve the needs of Open SUNY COAT, we've partnered with COAT. We understand that COAT has their work cut out for them. Certainly, they moved from the SUNY Learning Network, where they just supported a handful of campuses, to being Open SUNY and therefore responsible for supporting all 64 campuses. And it's really necessary for the campuses to chime in and to share, their expertise and to assist COAT in getting professional development done at scale. So, and also just in general, we have a commitment to quality. I personally have a commitment to high quality online education, and in order to make that happen, we have to have instructors that are highly qualified to teach despite, no matter what that modality is. So how are we going to do this? First of all, it's open to all campuses. However, we're going to give priority to those campuses who have partnered with us in some way. And so by partnering with us, there's a number of things that you can do. There's a form here, and let me just put that link in the chat for you. And when you click on the form, you can sort of see some options about how you can get involved. First of all, the course, we anticipated to have a lead facilitator who is someone, for each module, a lead facilitator who is someone who's working on the project, who's a partner, and then 2 co-facilitators from campuses around all of SUNY. And then the priority and registration will go to those campuses in which somebody has agreed to be a co-facilitator. And the co-facilitators will undergo a brief training and will be recognized for their efforts. And then also, if you contribute resources, like I mentioned before, the course is going to be built based upon resources that are sort of leveraged from pre-existing content throughout SUNY so that we can highlight all that SUNY has to offer. So if your campus has training resources, either things that have been created by instructional designers at your campus that are used for faculty development, or things that faculty members are using in their courses that can help other people, and you can share those with us. I'd like to thank Buffalo State College. Ginger Bedell has already shared some really amazing resources, and we're so thankful for that. And so, for example, now Buffalo State College has priority in registration. We're capping registration at 100 for the first cohort, so those who have priority are pretty much guaranteed that their faculty and staff can have access to the course in the first cohort, the guided cohort. And so these are just some examples of resources that we're currently looking for. If you go to that form and fill it out, you can maybe share what you might have that you can share with us. Just put it in the form. But we're looking for resources that have to do with course organization, developing course content, maybe some examples of how quality interactions built into a course, assessment strategies, using rubrics and models of exemplary work, the importance of feedback and academic integrity. And so, like I said, regardless of the modality, could be blended, face-to-face, online, web-enhanced, all of those. And then hopefully we can work resources from a wide spectrum of institutions into the course, and then, you know, it would really contribute to the course overall. So that is sort of the brief overview of the project, and if anybody has questions, we can talk now. You can also feel free to email me directly. I'm a really accessible, nice person, and I'm happy to talk about the project. You can follow us on Twitter, and we just got access to the SUNY Learning Commons WordPress site, so we're going to be, oops, that's not my email. We're going to be blogging and putting all our information online. We also have a promotional video. I'll put in the link to that as well. You can take a look at that. So open to questions. Does anybody have any questions?
Yeah, if anybody wants to, not use the chat but just talk, just raise your hand and go for it.
I should mention the promo video is really great and awesome, so you guys should definitely check it out.
Go ahead, Kathleen.
Hi, Ian. This is Kathleen Stone from Empire State College.
Hi, how are you?
I want that we can maybe connect because we're working on something similar but a little slightly different focus. But we've got an IITG for an online course for faculty development on creating accessible courses. And I know you mentioned one of your weeks will talk about some accessibility things. So perhaps we can connect, or we've got some synergy here with what we're doing.
That's great. I love that idea. Yeah, one of the weeks, it's the second week, is content presentation, and we're just putting accessibility right in there. We want to put sort of, usability right up front. So yeah, I mean, obviously your course is probably going to be much more in depth, but I would love to connect on that.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Thanks.
All right, Donna.
Hi,
Donna.
Can you hear me? Okay, I was wanted to know when you were planning on setting up the training for the facilitators, and when we were going to be getting together for that.
Yes. Okay, so I want to line up all the co-facilitators first. I'm anticipating in November because, once the holidays start, things get a little crazy. So, and you're going to be a co-facilitator, right?
Yes, I was planning on it.
Yeah. Great. So just thanks for bringing that up. So sometime in November, and more information will go out to those who are interested. It's only a 1-week time commitment, so you can choose which topic is of interest to you, and we can talk about that. And it's a 1-week time commitment, and you work with a team, and it's going to be fun and a good experience. So anybody who's interested, when you fill out the form, just mark the box that says, I'm interested in being a co-facilitator.
Okay, thanks.
Thanks, Donna.
And I have a question. So say I'm a faculty member who is not going to be teaching an online or a blended course anytime in the near future, but I would like to use, maybe the LMS a little bit more robustly in my courses, but I don't have a lot of experience maybe working in my LMS. Do you think QBD can work for a faculty member like that, or are we really thinking that it's going to be more for folks who have already some experience, again, like working actively in their LMS beyond just sort of, posting a syllabus and communicating with their students through it?
Yeah, I really think that QBD is good for all experience levels, and when we ran the course before it was QBD, we ran here at UB 6 or 7 cohorts, and we did have faculty members with no experience with teaching online, and so we have enough support built into the course so that if they do need sort of assistance with, like, say, posting to the discussion forum or something like that, then we can assist them. And we do encourage those with various experience levels to join, because that's how they learn. I mean, it's so great to learn from your peers and to hear the experiences of your peers. So we don't discourage anybody based upon experience level.
And just one other course. So, like, for those of us on campuses, and we want to promote this to our faculty to maybe, consider submitting resources and then have our faculty get, more likely to be enrolled in the course. So, so what can we promise? Like, what kind of outcomes, or what kind of what can they expect to get out of it at the end? I mean, it's a complete sort of course design, or just sort of the principles of good course design, or if you could talk a little bit more about, I guess, the outcomes for the faculty members when they're done with the course.
Yeah, and I would add faculty and staff, because I think it is a valuable resource beyond just for faculty, but just anybody who's interested in, various teaching strategies. And so that's what they'll get out of it is effective strategies for teaching and quality course design. That's sort of our subheading. So they will learn about supporting the learner, about presenting content in a way that is most beneficial to the learner, and they will learn about accessibility and what that means and how that's done, and just various strategies for assessing the learner. I think that those, and interacting and collaborating in the classroom, and how that's important. So they are sort of broad topics, but the course is we really have a sort of constructivist approach to learning, in that they're going to learn from each other in such a way that's so valuable, and we really don't know exactly what they're going to learn, because so much of what they're going to learn will emerge through the discussions. And there's a weekly project for those who want to complete the course and earn the completion badge. And the weekly activity is based upon the Oscar rubric. So basically, they'll look at the criteria of the rubric that is associated with the topic for that module, and they will either look at their own course, or we're going to have example courses that we can provide to them, and so they can really get a sense of how the criteria of the rubric is reflected in an actual course, or how it's not. So that's something that they'll come away with too. They'll be able to actually see these things in action and see examples, and we think that is a really beneficial exercise.
And I would just add that in the past, when we've run this, one of the best outcomes is the mentoring that happens between different faculty members, and we've seen it at UB, and we're only one institution. So the thought, as Ann said in the presentation, is that once we get this to a SUNY-wide scale, I mean that could be really awesome, right? And we encourage folks who have specific questions to put it out there, and we hope to have 100 other staff and faculty who are there that can help them out. So yeah, I think a lot of people are gonna, if they put in enough, they're gonna get back more than they're putting in, just because of this big at scale development that we're working on.
So we have Patrice, but then Elaine had also typed a question about TOPEs, and so we'll get to that first and then to Patrice. So Elaine asked if we've had any discussions, any synergistic activities with the Tools of Engagement project. So you're at UB with Robin, the project director. I think I saw Shereen is on the call here as well, who's the assistant director, and I've been working with them on the project. But I don't know, have you had any conversations with Robin about that?
Yeah, honestly, Cherie and Robin are both on our project. They're partners with us. We work very closely together. They're working very closely with us on the course redesign process and all the stages of the development of quality by design. In terms of TOPE, TOPE is an amazing project, and we love TOPE. It's very different than what quality by design is, though, because quality by design is not about the tools and the technologies. Quality by design is more about the concepts, and so we really think that, you know, both are important. You know, obviously pedagogy is critical and tools are very important. This course is focused more on the effective strategies for quality teaching, and the tools. You know, we don't talk about tools necessarily in the class. Okay, so we have another question.
So Patrice is up next, and then Denise put one in the chat, and then Robin will probably have something to say about TOPE.
Can I just, this is Robin, can I chime in just a little bit?
Okay, yeah, so while we're on TOPE, go ahead, Robin.
Yeah, I just want to say, you know, the quality by design is certainly all about course design and pedagogy and following the ideas that the ASCR rubric promotes. But within there, there's often questions that come up about how do you create teacher presence, and that's when some of the tools do get brought up, and we often can point people in the discussion forums to, you know, here's some great resources about how to do some collaboration or activities or group work or whatever. So there is some back and forth between the two, just kind of by coincidence. That's it.
Thanks, Robin.
Yeah, that's true. That's a great point, Robin.
Yeah, I'll put it in the chat. And actually, Robin, could you just put in the chat the TOPE website so folks can check that out? And, you know, we do have our member campuses set for the next phase of TOPE, but if anybody's interested, all the materials are there, accessible, that they can use. Patrice.
This is Patrice. I had two situations that we sometimes face here that I was wondering if, you know, the course would have any content on. One is the faculty member who says, you know, I've been teaching this way forever, online for 10 years. My students are happy, they're doing well, you know, why do I have to follow these effective practices? And so will there be any discussion or resources that kind of support, you know, why this is important? And the other question is kind of tied to that, in that, you know, we have a lot of faculty who have never taught online before, and so they have a really hard time visualizing how students will experience their course, and, you know, why they have to do things a little bit differently. And so, you know, something that, you know, we've been thinking about is trying to gather resources that provide the students' side of things, you know, and this is why, you know, having a well-organized, effectively designed course makes for a better student experience. And so I just wondered if either of those topics were going to be addressed.
Yeah, I mean, I would say in terms of the latter topic, just being in a course like this is an opportunity to see a well-designed course and to move through a well-designed course and to have that sort of student perspective. What we talk about, we also model in the course, and we realize that as we've been designing the course, that so much of what we're talking about that's so important for the student is also being modeled in our own course. And also because the activity that's involved on a weekly basis is looking at other courses or another course or multiple courses if they so choose, they do get that experience of seeing how other faculty members set up courses, and so that's a valuable experience. And the first comment, I think I wouldn't say that, so you said that lots of faculty have their way of doing things and why should they have to do these effective strategies. We're not saying that they have to do the effective strategies, but we do believe that, you know, we do believe in continuous improvement, and that there's always an opportunity to learn something more, and there's always an opportunity to learn from other people who are doing different things, and especially the fact that these individuals will be coming from diverse types of institutions. It's it's a valuable experience, and if somebody doesn't think it's a valuable experience, then they don't have to take the course. It's totally optional. It's free. If you sign up and you don't want to go through with it, you can maybe get a little something from it and continue on.
Yeah, and I would add, Patrice, that maybe you want to. If you know some people, like you might have some in mind, ask them, there's this new course, you've been teaching online for 10 years, you do a good job, would you mind, taking it and helping people, or even they're looking for co-facilitators, and you'll get some kind of recognition, and that way, they're gonna, they're doing something right, or, if they've been teaching online and getting good reviews, so maybe they'd be apt to help others. But then just kind of through osmosis, like now you got them hooked, now they're in the course, and they're going to pick up a few new things, either by trying to mentor somebody or just being in that space and hearing what other people have to say. So you might kind of, trick them a little bit in that way and get some really experienced faculty. And we would love, everybody on this call, if you have some faculty or experience, please, reach out to them and say, they're looking for co-facilitators to help share your experiences, and we're going to acknowledge it with them with those badges.
Yeah, so that's actually a good segue. Denise had the question about what qualifications you're looking for in a co-facilitator.
Well, we're just looking for somebody. So there's the 4 topics, and I will reach out to anybody who expressed interest in being a co-facilitator and provide more information. But based on the 4 topics, someone who has a passion for one of those topics, and who has experience in working with those topics in some way. So again, a variety of levels of experience. We would hope that some are faculty and some are maybe instructional designers or instructional support staff. And basically the requirement is to participate and lead the discussion, guide the discussion, facilitate the discussion for the week, and to be available to answer questions that might arise from the participants. So it's really just about being present and about being a good, discussion facilitator and sharing your knowledge. And everybody has some knowledge to share. So yeah, we really hope that from this webinar that we get some interested participants.